So, come one, come all. We have our next reader is here, PDVNCH. Come on in. This is truly inspirational stuff, so if you've been feeling a little down, a little low, tired of the market, lost your best friend over by the photography booth, so PDVNCH is a dramatic, prophetic, poetic storyteller who uses rainbows, painting pictures, creating vivid images with words from multiple perspectives, giving voice to the unheard with vocal tones that are rhythmic. As an inventor, originator, most known globally for his original iconic hair designs, Beads by Da Vinci, his fabulous frames, and his phenomenal passion for fashion. He's a Bloomingtonian and director of creative arts productions for Healthy Productions at GHP Studios. Through collaboration, his desire is to inspire inspiration and always be on purpose. Please join me in welcoming PDVNCH. You're using the laptop?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Test. Let's hear you.
Test 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Sounded good. Thank you. Thank you, Joan, for that wonderful introduction. It's great to be here at the 4th Street Arts Festival. Once again, I am PDVNCH. Who am I? Who am I? All right, thank you. Today I just want to have a special piece to celebrate the Guild. And I believe that poetry is therapy, amen? The Guild. This is a dedication to all recorders and supporters. My story begins to read in the years 2016 and 2017. Skywalk with me down the brick road of destiny as the sun ray chills pouring in from the adjacent Emerald Bay glass. Splash around with me at the Fountain Square Poetry Series, at the mall where I used to window shop as a kid, ran the halls prior to the prize packs and musical acts, each one with their own branding. Sound the gong for Lisa Kwong to host a Friday evening of poetry reading. Connecting me to Patsy after she read Seeing Me before I was heard with every thread sewing into me. The info she gave was the stencil I would use as my proverbial pencil as she led where I met Free, Willie, Angelani, and Michael asked, Annie, are you okay? Hints, and Nancy chin wag in amazement as what those that spoke were saying. The breeze of the mountain split the air like San Andreas Fault and Mary, we were all then. As I listened in the crowd, the smile stretched for miles at the wooden podium, framed the sound of the voices rejoicing at the liberty to speak now or forever hold your peace. As the craft is gaining altitude, the last Sunday poetry reading at the Monroe Convention Center in the destination before winter, still married in new depth, breathing through my gill, burr, cold shoulder thawing out by the time I left, recalling getting the dial tone, your phobia was being stranged and stranded online, talking, connected to no one. I remember supporting as an audience member. It was important that I swam in ice before I tried to surf on the surface like a sled without getting splinters. Landed on the runway, heading to the library gate at number 1B. The second flight of stairs, the first class seat on my flight to first Sunday prose to read. Around the round table with flash fiction writers waiting to exhale at the open mic time, an amateur at prose. Encouraged to continue to return to this and new venues and add to the in-flight menu, hand-me-downs to be continued. Catch the red eye back to the last Sunday at MCC. Listen to CD Cope play with words on repeat. We would meet and greet and I would speak and we spoke. God was writing history in that hour. We both felt power of poetry. I read my pain on paper, written in all red text in calligraphy. Now, as we pick up speed, the Players Pub spoken word series is where the stage would coach me, patient on the bench, pressing the trophy. Joan as the host, Madam, marvelous, love, truth, and joy, all becomes a part of us. Now we approach the cruising altitude on the first Sunday prose reading. The laughter breeding with squires, I shared my pain on paper. Box of Pandora's, conquer quitting to make my path flyer. At Mach 3, Players Pub spoken word series. Circling over land, Tony at command, Jean Marin, and right here on me, sipping tea, K, oxygen, mask off, breathing, Eric and Kai elevated, and Mick lost in a sitar on the floor, standing ovation. Box of Pandora's opened up again. We adjust to the elevation. The last Sunday poetry reading with Lisa, Jen Marin, Rachel, Michael, Antonia again, along with the door to James and Sam on the acoustic guitar jam, with PDVNCH as the guest reader. I gave Slaviv, displayed my pain on paper, gave it to the caretaker, chose to conquer quitting, made it early to awake where my sister, she rose, and I said, you may dream, is what I was spitting, sitting with my legs crossed in similar position to the crucifixion. We are now nowhere close to done. The 4th Street Arts Festival at 4th and Dunn. At the spoken word stage, fresh air ricocheted as the MC to introduce me before we got Broccoli and Jeff Free with a gill from a ton of booming tales and stories. Watching time pass like shots at the clock, breaking ties and beating buzzers, leaving an empty hourglass. Players Pub spoken word series, Quastone, Cold Riffs, Celia, Fate, Tracy, Tom, boy was magic from toe to knee, me able to breathe again, and Tonya perfect like I'm Joan and Dan yelled and saw Gypsy, empty hourglass, full in a parallel universe. First Sunday poetry reading on display at Thomas Gallery. Crocheting in Tonya, wouldn't believe Joan and me. Lisa clay animation coffin with no door, fasting with a Cornell. The divorce came. When the divorce came, the marriage failed. The Players Pub spoken word series with Cricket Bones Caravan. Swerving around urban deer, performers and musicians. Reading a play for all to hear, house divided, Zill, yeah, tone, yeah, on your own. I was with hanging bones in the closet underneath Gucci clothes. First Sunday prose reading on display at Thomas Gallery. Glenda, you own the tone, yeah, go through the door. If you fit the bill, cut the fees. Scene 7, start the credits. Stop the reel. For 4 years, I've been reading you the script to my movie. Writers Guild holiday party, an annual meeting at the University Baptist Church. Hors d'oeuvres and desserts. Our appreciation gift to Tony, a typewriter for poetry on demand, so the man can work. The chair, treasurer, secretary were there. Tone, yeah, free the air, for the other members. Open the door with laughter, weigh the heavy metal nick, peg my pants, still Gucci down to the sneaks. Like I forgot with the lease, I saw the season changing. Peace. Third Sunday right. Mall emotions with the rhythmic tone. You weren't ready for my regret. Pops was a rolling stone. The prompts were what we wrote down. Notes that left the reader informed yet upset when the curious cat left. First Sunday prose reading an open mic at Soma Coffee House and Juice Bar. Seal your fate with Mary Jane. Inhale aerosol cans for rich beggars. Alley cats stick a landing from the third floor to the mat at the front door, the center of the earth. Whose boucher changed the tone? You better recognize who the joning again about the Santa Claus. Pause. Writers Guild monthly meeting at the library. The topics may vary, yet it's business as usual with Joan, Tony, Kyle, Patsy, James, Tonya discussing how to stick the ball and kick it past the goal. Last Sunday, poetry reading and open mic at Monroe Convention Center. On the mic, L's turn W's. Big gulp cups turn copes. Patsy, her boo, share, cat between the door. There, all married, yes. Who can really rate you except myself? Trying not to lose before Valentine's Day. Dumped a lot of strays, made a suicidal Cupid when love was once hate. First Sunday prose reading at Soma Coffee House and Juice Bar. Gilbert Reynolds next to ya, Leah, the Joan Rivers. Streams of consciousness. Third Sunday right at MCPL. As the facilitator, I was humbly honored to lead and prompt a response to verbal cues that would inspire me to inspire you. To remove your PJs. Tune ya, tone ya, door is closed when Dan yells and Ma regrets Jimmy the locked words and unsafe cracks. The statements I made were in solid, liquid, and gas. Last Sunday poetry reading and open mic, Monroe Convention Center, with the guest readers and seeing Patsy through the door, closing my mind's eye and opening my mouth as I speak brushstrokes to imagine hope by throwing waves at the easel. First Sunday prose reading at Bear's Place, where I wear grace as a guest reader. With Shane and Air Rich rose to your answer to all the smoke. The addiction froze when I cut the feed scenes 1 through 10 frozen on screen. Third Sunday right at MCPL with PDVNCH and Tonya Ma. Regret to inform you the news comes to the door, picking up the paper in your PJs, and you react to the air interrogation, the essence of heaven. Admitting I hate death, pain and love, the vow, silence, fear, the throne room, racing through life, dream chasing, inspiration, more than twice. Bloomington Street Fair at Kirkwood. I share Looney Tune tunes and help the crowd to smile and imagine. Smiles, Roadrunner Marathon, no sprint. The last Sunday poetry reading at Monroe County Convention Center. No Mike, Ray, Charles, Patsy, the door where Jada enters, we all imagine. Imagine doze off at night and doze off. Third Sunday right at Monroe County Public Library. Around the rectangle table, just left the room. Mental muscles duplicate, tease, and Tonya, while the cicadas and stagnation is what we see when we count the rings on the trees. Writers Guild monthly meeting at MCPL. Your own door to walk through. Okay, la la la, laughter, Tonya, Patsy, and he brew her favorite beverage. Last Sunday poetry reading, me hosting the show. A breath of fresh air ricocheted off the VIN like diesel, big truck, Lisa, fuel with high, making consumers fiendy, and your boo share the charge at the pump like a Patsy. And you own nothing when you pay and walk out the store except the experience of going through the process. Imagine that. Gas prices returning back to $1 flat. Third Sunday, right, at MCPL. Once again, I get to feel and facilitate till I peel back prompts to build from. I got to be the facilitator. My tone, working out verbally, creating the Sabbath as a gym day, swinging slang in the key of emotion. Writers Guild spoken word series at Bears Place. Open mic. Who's your darling? Man, Miss Roshana yawning, Miss Rosh Hashanah yawning before sleep. I own you. Recipe to brew her tea. Staring at the door. America. When will your reflection change to beauty? Third Sunday, right? On time. With K, T, and 1 sugar cube for Tonya, James squared, serving you impromptu ingredients fresh out the kitchen. Writers Guild spoken word series at Bears Place, open mic. I showed you through the open mic a mirage scene, one time live, then back to reality. Writers Guild spoken word stage at 4th Street Arts Festival. 25 minutes under the great tent. Imagine scenes 1 through 8 as I extrapolate on a mindscape. Third Sunday, right? Fall writing workshop with PDVNCH. With the tone you love, okay. Here's the door, my regret is the shadow from a rainbow exploring colors. Third Sunday, right? Jim meets James at the mall, tone your ears. Hear the ring of words being birthed like lyrical melodies, leaving the gathering, staggering with glee. Writers Guild monthly meeting at MCPL. The brewer is Patsy for the hawk in laughter, giggles, parts, clouds in the sky, elevate to winning W after the trials, once you try L's. Last Sunday poetry reading, the Monroe County Convention Center, in the center of the home with merry times until Dan yelled and David shows Zara's art and tan your brain like zombies in a trance playing the Patsy at the haunted house. Third Sunday, right? In our PJs, the tone you think is louder enough to be a whisper. Shout to the sky during winter. All we know is we were prompted by snow. Third Sunday, right at MCPL. I was not playing games with James. The tone you think with is what you speak with. So stroll past where the race ends and finish your sentence without lapping yourself. Being dumb enough to believe what makes reality, attempting to shave the fuzz on the peach before it's ripe in April. Hosting the last Sunday poetry reading at Monroe County Convention Center. As we log into the readers, the young people are ready. The energy is charged up. Nancy, Patsy, the feed me, bowing to the irony of the segregated melting pot, remixed by the DJ, the chef. For the record, the kettle was smoking. Writers Guild spoken word series at Bears Place. You own the tone you use. I own a version of the air, Rick, yet reuse my diaphragm. Tight my abs be 8-packs, brew her favorite beverage in April for the young squire, finding themselves apart at the melting pot remix. Special taste choir. The Sunday poetry reading featuring CD Coke and PDVNCH. The two young squires saw Patsy in the alley. The tag team was classic. All the way to the Feeney, the blossoming Bloomingtonian, enjoying the nature of being, witnessing divinity. Writers Guild monthly meeting is MCPL. Joan, the tone you have with Kyle is cultivating in the collaboration style. First Sunday prose reading, an open mic in Bear's Place. Cecilia with love. You own the tone you gave through the door frame. Trace the shape of the love triangle. Writers Guild spoken word series at Bear's Place. The tone you brew her at left weather wax on and off the door post in April. Passover, Easter, stroll by your boo, share the goosebumps and breathe visible air through gill, burr, shiver, sitting, shiver, getting married to Christmas and divorcing during the Here Comes the Bride song as it's being sung. My hand numb. All I wrote was Dear Mrs. Wright, copy 6, with invisible ink in between my right index finger and thumb. The Guild, thank you.
Oh, wow.